everybody, welcome to Renee and Baby. If this is your first time on our channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Today's video is going to be something that is a little bit more serious because it's something that a lot of people don't talk about, but a lot of people deal with. We are going to be talking about anxiety today. Stay tuned. As some of you all know, I'm not sure, but I have expressed it in one or two of my videos that I suffer from anxiety, and it's quite bad. I want to tell you all what anxiety is. So I looked up the definition of it just to explain it a bit better and make sure I was not wrong. The definition, according to Google, is intense, excessive, and persistent worry and fear about everyday situations. So that's the definition for anxiety. But it feels that way, it does. But it feels a lot more intense than the definition. So I want to talk about how you feel when you have anxiety. It's constant worrying, like worrying about things that you have no control over. This is for me personally, by the way. This is my experience. Constant worrying. I mean, my mind is always racing. I can be sitting down just trying to watch TV or read a book or write something, or it doesn't matter what I'm doing. My mind is constantly going a mile a minute. Oh, I need to do this. I need to do this too. I need to do this. I'm worrying about this. Is this bill going to get paid? Am I going to be able to take care of this? Am I giving this relationship enough attention? It's always so many thoughts in your head, just constantly going. Not to include the fact that you can't relax. You can't spend any time with yourself in order to wind down. The lack of sleep. Y'all know that the human body requires 6 to 8 hours of sleep per night in order to fully function. If you are dealing with anxiety and you cannot sleep, imagine the things that does to your body. It's not healthy. Also, another thing that I dealt with that was really bad was the increase in my heart rate. So anytime that I was dealing with anxiety, I'm not sure if this was just my anxiety or when I was having an anxiety attack, is when my heart would beat really fast. It freaks me out. I can't control my breathing because of it. And then I'm just like, oh my gosh, I gotta calm myself down. Like, it's almost like I almost start hyperventilating, which is horrible. And nobody wants to see their loved one go through that. And no one really wants to deal with that when you're going through it, because it's scary because you can't control it, besides mentally getting inside of your head and creating a thought to calm yourself down. And that's what I had to do a lot, which we're going to get to in a little bit, as how I dealt with my anxiety. But that is just another thing that I dealt with while dealing with anxiety. I also dealt with always being tired. That also relates back to not getting enough sleep. So of course I was always really tired, very hopeless, not really goal oriented, didn't want to really achieve any goals. Very hopeless. It was just, okay, I'm gonna wake up today and I'm gonna do what I gotta do and carry on about my day. There was really no passion behind anything that I did. And that's not to say that I don't still deal with anxiety, because I do. I do have my good days and I have my bad days where I still feel hopeless. I still feel tired, and my heart races and my mind is racing, and it's just something that is a day in and day out battle. And I feel like people should talk about anxiety more, and not to exclude depression, because depression and anxiety are hand in hand. So maybe I should talk about that as well, because anxiety and depression are two in the same. Something that you can't control. You have the same side effects. a lot of times when I dealt with anxiety, I was also dealing with depression. So that is something that also plays a factor in anxiety, because increased anxiety also leads to depression. More people have anxiety and depression than the people that will actually admit it. And if you were to Google it, let's see. If you were to Google it, let's see. Okay, so if you were to Google how many people on average deal with anxiety, it says anxiety disorder is the most common mental illness in the United States, affecting 40 million adults. Y'all, 40 million adults between the age 18 and older. That doesn't include anyone under 18, but 18 and older. 36.9 people suffering from anxiety never receive treatment or get advice to deal with that anxiety. So that lets you know that a lot of people just deal with it and just figure out a way to get through it, not knowing that they're dealing with anxiety and depression. I feel like what caused my anxiety was a lot of changes that took place in my life. When I got to college, I dealt with adulthood. I also have dealt with a lot of grief in my life, which I think definitely is at the top of the list of why I deal with my anxiety as well as my depression. Not to include I feel like everyone should go to counseling. I went to counseling in order to deal with some of my depression and anxiety, and I did not know that I'd still dealt with childhood damage. I'm not sure what to call it, but I have a fear of abandonment because I have abandonment issues from childhood. And it's not from, you know, my mom's side of the family or anything. It's from my dad not being around. Just to be all the way cut and dry with you all, my dad was not in my life. So I felt abandoned by him. And my fear of abandonment led into my adult life, and I never realized it until I went to counseling. And I feel that the abandonment makes me grab really, really, really tight onto people that are in my life, as well as dealing with grief in the wrong manner, because I feel abandoned and I feel left and I feel alone, and I deal with it by myself. Usually when no one else is around, of course, I cry and I mope and I grieve, and I don't let people know. And I don't let people know that I need help. And that's a really big thing with dealing with depression as well as anxiety, is you need to have a support system. So that is one of the things that also contributed to my anxiety and depression, as well as me never having time for myself. When I became a mom, I put everything of me into being a mom. I wanted to be the best mom ever. I wanted to be the perfect mom. I wanted to not make mistakes. I took all of the classes when I was pregnant. I took the breastfeeding classes. I took the baby classes. I took the labor and delivery classes. I took the parenting classes. I took all the classes so that I could be prepared. And yet, those classes give you good tips, but you learn your best when you're going through it. And I had to learn that I'm going to make mistakes as being a parent, because no parent is perfect. You kind of learn on the way of, you know, one day at a time as you're a parent. I learn something new every single day. Still being a parent, I learn something new. And I just feel like because I was so fearful of a lot of things, it contributed to my anxiety with my parenting. Because I feared a lot of things, I didn't let a lot of people watch my kids. I didn't put my kids in daycare. And not to include, I had a child and lost her. So I grasped on the two that I have, and I just feared something happening to them. So that is another reason for my anxiety, because I'm a super helicopter parent and I'm always just hovering I'm learning that I have to take 2 steps back and let them grow, let them make their mistakes. Sometimes they will fall, but I have to allow them to get up on their own. Because if I don't allow that, then I will be setting them up for failure, as well as contributing to my anxiety, because I'm just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, I have to make sure that they're okay. I have to make sure they're okay. Oh my gosh, that was my fault. What did I do? I should have been there. I should have been there a second earlier. Like, me panicking and just freaking out about everything just is not helping me in any way, shape, or form. And in turn, that's actually a downfall of my parenting. That the parent that I practiced so hard to be when I first became pregnant, I'm actually tearing that down because I'm not going about parenting the right way by allowing my kids to learn. In turn, giving myself anxiety and being not a horrible parent, but just not being the best parent that I could be. All in all, those are some of the things that cause my anxiety and depression. I know I kind of talked around it, but of course, I hope you all understand what caused my anxiety. Now here is the by the book way of how to deal with anxiety. I looked it up. Yes, y'all, this video is full of facts. I'm sorry, but I just wanted to make sure I was, giving you all factual information in this video and not just talking. So it says that the treatment for anxiety is physical activity. So I would say working out, being active, which is actually true for me because I find that when I work out and when I do stuff that I love outdoors, it definitely helps me with my anxiety and my depression. The next thing is a healthy diet. Making sure you eat healthy. When you eat healthy, you're putting good into your body. You start to feel good. You take care of yourself. And it really does relay into how you feel. And that was another thing for me, which is also what I do. But I added with the healthy diet is making yourself feel good. So if you got to get your hair done, get your hair done. If you got to do your makeup, do your makeup. If you don't want to, don't. If you want to cut your hair off, cut it off. Whatever makes you feel good, do it. The next thing is regular sleep. Y'all, I hit that on several notes. You got to make sure that you sleep. Get that sleep in so that when you wake up in the morning, you feel fully energized for the day and you're feeling good. I personally get more sleep now, and the days that I get more sleep, I deal with less anxiety. It does go hand in hand for me. When I get less sleep, I'm more irritable and more likely to deal with anxiety that day. And the last thing that Google says is relaxation to help deal with, to help reduce anxiety, which I definitely do a lot more. Relaxing and getting me time. If you are a mom, make sure to carve out time by yourself. If you all do watch my vlogs, and you all know that I have started getting my nails done, pedicures, getting my hair done, getting facials and massages, and sometimes just going out to eat by yourself, going to the movies by yourself, or just going to the grocery store by yourself. Like, it's the small things. Alone time is alone time. Listen to them, they're screaming. Alone time is amazing. Not too much alone time, not alone time in your house curled up under a blanket crying, but alone time that is healthy. So yes, y'all, that's what I dealt with and still deal with sometimes, sometimes more than others. And I just wanted to be completely real with y'all. I'm not perfect. I deal with anxiety and I deal with depression. And that was a big part of why I stopped recording videos in 2019, because I was dealing with a lot. And I am trying to make it my duty to be more authentic with you all and let you all know behind the scenes. And that is behind the scenes. Anxiety and depression is definitely real, and I feel that it is something that more people should talk about. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you all got some tips from it. If you all are dealing with anxiety or depression, please share your stories down below. You never know how someone can learn from your stories or also relate, because there's more people out there that can relate than you would think. Anyways, Don't forget to spread the positivity in the comment section below. Spread the positivity. And we will see you all next time for another new video. Peace.